Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Altitude Sickness Podcast. This is episode number 24. I am Tony, and today I am being joined just by Drew. About how are we all doing? Or how are you doing?
Good,
Yeah.
good. We're coming off of a record-breaking day for the Rockies. Good thing I wasn't able to see the two games before because I was in Colorado.
Mm.
I may look orange, a little red. That's because I forget that I'm much closer to the sun when I'm in Colorado than when I'm at home.
Yeah.
So I managed to get a sunburn without breaking a sweat. It was only 74 degrees and sunny on Saturday, but it was UV 11, and
Wow.
I'm not used to that. So yeah, I got burnt pretty good, but I didn't sweat the whole day, which is the wildest part. But
It's crazy
feel good.
because on Saturday here, it was, at least in Kansas City, it was rainy in the morning, so then it was just humid all day. It was like 86 degrees, humid, and then when that sun came out, it was just muggy and disgusting.
Yeah,
I was sweating like crazy.
yeah, it was awesome not having any humidity in Colorado.
Yeah,
It was great.
it's pretty great. So, um, but while you were, I guess, while yes, the Rockies did break some history, which we'll talk about later. We got to talk about the series before they broke history, and it was actually a good one. They won the series against the Cubs. Cubs came to Coors Field, the Cubs who have been struggling really like all year. Like they just have not found a good footing, and the Rockies managed to get the first two games at least. They were able to win the first two. So the first one, Sagano kind of did his thing as he always does. It was that 5 innings, allowing 2 or 3 runs. This time it was 3 runs, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. He just kind of did his thing. Bullpen also was really good. They did not allow a run in the 4 innings that they had to pitch. And this one had a pair of home runs. It was a Goodman and then a Tovar home run. So, I mean, you just love to see it. Julian actually also had 3 RBIs. He had a double and a single with 3 RBIs. So, some overall good day. I think it was 7-3 was the final. So, kind of just did their thing. Like, Goodman continues. He finally hits a home run at home. That's like been his thing that he doesn't hit home runs on the road, or he doesn't hit at home at all, really. But it's starting to like even out, and that's gonna happen. Like it's gonna even out eventually. And so, but yeah, first game kind of just solid overall. Like if you're gonna allow 3 runs at Coors Field in one game, like that's pretty good. So. And then the second game, shockingly, Lorenzen was very good. It was probably his best. It was easily his best outing of the year, I think. Where he goes five innings, only allowing 1 run, struck out 7, and then had walked 2. So it was pretty dominant from Lorenzen doing his thing. Unfortunately, this time the offense didn't do anything until late. But that's when in the bottom of the 8th inning, TJ Rumfield comes up, clutch as ever, hits a late 2-run home run, and gives the Rockies at that point a 2-1 lead that they would take into that 9th inning, where Senzatella comes in, and unfortunately he does blow the save, which is just brutal. But it is what it is, like because he kept it tied at least, and it was just enough for Sterling Thompson to come in and come through, where he's had kind of a weird like first few weeks in the big leagues where he's had like pretty solid at-bats. It's been kind of like a Kyle Caros situation where it feels like he's had solid at-bats, but he's just not getting any results. And it was good to see that he finally got something there. He was able to drive it past infield that was in, and we got the walk-off win. So that was really cool to see. And then going for the sweep, as always, Rockies can't finish a series to save their lives. Feltner was perfect through 3 innings. He was absolutely lights out. Proceeded to walk 3 guys and then allowed a grand slam in that 4th inning. He then can get into the 5th, but it wasn't much more than that. He goes 4 1/3, allows 6 runs with 3 walks, which I believe all 3 walks scored, and then 3 strikeouts. And at that point, like no matter what the offense does, it's you're already out of that game. Type of thing. Brett Sullivan had 2 home runs. He's just out of nowhere become a home run guy.
I,
Um,
sorry, you can continue. I'll get
which
into
is
that.
just funny because I know last week we have talked about it. It's just coming into this. It's like Brett Sullivan, his like, and it's kind of the thing where it's like, so right now the Rockies are carrying three catchers on the roster. And I mean, there's pros and cons to that. I think, on my opinion, I think there's more cons. I don't get the reasoning for it. And I think with this, like, if Sullivan obviously out of nowhere hits these home runs, which is good, but before this he was doing really nothing offensively. And then it was the same thing with Braxton Fulford, and it's like, okay, so clearly, like, if it's Fulford, like, clearly Fulford is not doing well. So send him down so he can get consistent playing time. And I think why they don't want to do that is because there are two catchers at the minor league level in AAA that are veteran guys that are playing pretty well. But at the same time, to me, I'm like, well, I think you should focus more on development of a player you have, or cut bait with that player, or do something like that. But as of now, that's not really what they're worrying about. And so, but Cole Carrig also in this game had his first career home run. He we'll talk about it in a sec, but he made his debut, um, and so that was cool. But yeah, Rockies lose that final game, but they do get the series win. So and up to that point, they had won. I think I saw that it was like 3 of their last 4 series they won, which does not feel real. Like, the way that it's felt like the Rockies have played recently has not felt like that. But good stuff for the Rockies at home. And then they make their way to Las Vegas, not Sacramento, where the A's normally are playing. They're doing, I think, just a promotion thing of, hey, the A's are coming to Las Vegas in a few years, and so they played back-to-back series there. They played Milwaukee, which was a crazy series. One of those games, just, it was like 13-12 was the final. It was a weird, crazy game. But the first two in this one, which unfortunately the Rockies lost both, they were pretty, I feel, like, standard games. And I think because it's a night game, it's going to feel like that more. It's not as hot and it's not as crazy yet. In that first game, Sean Sullivan, pitching prospect for the Rockies, lefty, kind of just gets called up really what felt like out of nowhere. It was kind of a random one. And I think just because the Rockies right now, and we'll get to more news later, but their pitching depth is just getting toasted right now. I saw someone on Twitter say you could make a full 5-man rotation and a 5-man bullpen just out of the players that are currently on the IL with the Rockies, because they just have been decimated pitching wise. And so they have to already start digging into that. But I think Sullivan, he's got some good stuff, and he pitched well here, even though going into the game he was actually incredibly sick. I'm honestly kind of shocked he even played, but he gutted out 3 innings, did not allow a run, only 2 hits, and struck out 2. So he did his thing. He did a good job. And Carrig had a 3-run homer in this one, his second of his career, that kept the Rockies really, like, close in it. Eventually, it was tied 4-4 late. I think it was in the 7th inning. And Hunter Goodman, it was a runner on first and third situation for the Athletics. And Hunter Goodman does the old, they steal, and he does the pump fake, and they had him at third. And he runs him down about halfway down the baseline and then throws just a duck, just low. And Kyle Karros obviously was not expecting it. He's probably expecting a good throw. And it goes into left field, and that ended up being the game winner there. That wasn't like the walk-off, but that run was enough for the Athletics to beat the Rockies there. That was one of 2 errors that Goodman had on the night as well. So not good stuff from Goodman there. And that's been a bit of a thing. Is Goodman's never been the best defensive catcher, but that one's if you do anything, just get him back to the bag. Don't force anything. But it was a very, very frustrating thing to watch. But it is what it is. Second game, Freeland was fine up until about the 6th inning, where he did hit a bit of a wall. He ended up, ended up allowing 6 runs in about 5 innings or so. And then Sullivan had a home run again, one of his other home runs, which is just coming out of nowhere. Rumfield had 2 doubles with an RBI, but this one kind of, again, was just a out of control one. Rockies didn't really have a chance. It felt like, even though it was a close game, it ended up being the final score was 4-6. This one just kind of felt like they weren't getting timely hitting, and at one point they were up 4-2, and then it just came again late, blowing that late lead. So not good stuff from the Rockies there. Oh, I was looking at the wrong game. Hold up. Jeez. They did have a lead though. They had a 5-4 lead. And then it was that sixth inning where Kyle Freeland went back out and hit a wall. Jaden Hill I think came in to relieve him, and Jaden Hill unfortunately is continuing to struggle a little bit recently. He had 2 walks, only got through a third of an inning, allowed a run. He's kind of been off his game recently. But so that one was brutal. But now this is the game that I think we've been waiting to talk about, honestly. So I'm going to just get the bad thing out of the way really quick. Bad things first. Is Sagano was not good in this game. He gets overshadowed, but he was bad. Like, let me pull up that final line that he had. Not good. I think that this is probably the only negative thing you can say about the team today, on this day. He, in 5 innings, allowed 8 earned runs. Like, it was just not good. Like, a very bad, just bad in general. Allowed 9 hits. Just was not, wasn't missing barrels, wasn't doing his thing. And in all fairness, again, it was like 106 degrees at some point in this game. It was hot, and the ball was flying like crazy. So that stinks. And then other pitching notes, just really quick. Blas Castano continues to kind of do his thing. He allowed a run in an inning, but like he's kind of doing what he's got to do. And then we had another major league debut here. Eberson Castellano came in, earned himself a save in his debut, which I believe he's the first Rockies player ever to earn a save in his major league debut. So that's cool. And it was a 3-inning. It was one of the weird saves where you pitch 3 innings at the end of the game and you get the save. And so that was that's good for him. He ended up having 2 strikeouts in that. But then, I mean, I've danced around it for a second. Rockies, they break their all-time record for runs scored in a game, both home and away. They ended up scoring 23 runs. Which is crazy because, like, if I'm looking at the innings, it was 2 runs in the first, which was a home run from Goodman, 3 in the second, none in the third, 3 in the fourth, and then 6 in the fifth. None in the sixth, and then 4 in the seventh, and then 5 in the eighth. So, like, it was kind of just, they kept adding on, which, good for them. I mean, big notes here, the big ones of note, like I said, Goodman went 5 for 6. He had 5 hits in this game, with a double, 2 home runs, and 4 RBI. Willie Castro had his best game as a Rocky by far, having going 4 for 6 with 2 home runs, including a grand slam and 7 RBI with a walk as well. Troy Johnston got another home run. I believe that's his 3rd of the year. He went 2 for 5 with a double, home run, and 4 RBI and a walk. And then Rumfield it was a bit of a sunball triple where no one touched the ball because they couldn't see it, but, a triple nonetheless, with also a home run off of a position player, but they don't ask that at the end of the year. He earns that one for the one getting taken away when Joe Adell did the stupid thing. That's what I say. And then he had 2 RBI as well. But yeah, this is just... This game was just a kind of just bludgeoning from the Rockies, just kind of all doing their thing. I believe every starter got a hit, I believe. And all but 2 of them got 2 hits at least. Only Braxton Fulford and Tyler Freeman only had 1 hit. But yeah, this one was I really don't have much else to say, really. It was just about as crazy as games are probably going to get at that Athletics ballpark when it eventually is opened in Las Vegas. Because if it's going to be as hot as it is, which I do believe that they are going to make the stadium indoor, which they have to make it indoor.
Yeah.
So that will control it a little bit. But that just shows what type of just how crazy things can get. Because this is a Rockies offense that's on the road sucks. Like it's bad when it's on the road usually. So like, them doing this was kind of out of nowhere and pretty surprising, but in a good way. So
yeah. Going back to the Cubs series, this is something that we might have pointed out before, but the Rockies this year compared to last year are actually beating teams when they're down. Last year, the Rockies were the launch pad for bad teams to turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, like same thing when they played the Mets the first time, they were facing a struggling team and they actually beat them, which is a really good sign because as a team that's still has the worst record in the MLB, those are games you have to win, especially when you're in a division with the Padres, Dodgers, and Diamondbacks at the moment that all are pretty good teams.
Mm-hmm.
You need to pick up the wins that you can, that are the easiest ones to win, and they've done that so far. Feltner's line against the Cubs, that is the most Feltner outing ever. Yeah. He's dialed for 3 innings, and then he just has his blow up inning. It sucks to see because his last 2 outings coming back from injury have been excellent.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm getting a little scared that it's just same old Ryan Feltner again.
Yeah.
But we'll see in the next few days how he pitches. Blas Castano, I thought he was going to be like a Bayozo kind of pitcher. Like we're just going to call him up, and then like whenever somebody gets healthy, he's going to get set back down.
Mm-hmm.
But he has honestly pleasantly surprised me because with the struggling bullpen, he can also go 2+ innings every outing if they need him to.
Yeah.
Which is a really good sign because, again, as we talked about, everyone is getting hurt. And since we've moved away from that long reliever role for Senzatella, we need somebody to fill it because having that did really help the Rockies save arms. And, it's a long reliever that's not tie block. So,
oh boy,
that's A-okay.
Yeah, we've moved past that stretch of Rockies era, which was just not a good one.
So I believe that was all I had for the Cubs series. For the A's series, I mean, I didn't see the first 2 games of the series, but I don't care what anybody has to say about the Rockies' record because only 1 run was scored with a position player.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to, the record was already broken before position players came into play. And I don't care that it was in a minor league ballpark because guess what? I'm pretty sure minor league ballparks and major league ballparks have the same distance requirements.
They're similar, if not the same. Yes.
And every Rockies home run that could have been recorded would have been out in virtually
like most
stadiums anyway. So yeah. I just for all the haters out there that don't let the Rockies have any fun, you can kiss my behind.
Yep. I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah. Why can't the Rockies have any fun?
Yeah.
Like I get it. We're bad. But why when we do something good, why can we not get credit for it?
It's just some people like to doom and gloom a little too much. And that's coming from someone that is a pretty doom and gloom. But like also I try and be more realistic, and I also try and praise the Rockies when there is, things to be praised. I think the offense did great yesterday, obviously, and I think it was legit. I don't think it's because it was yes, did the Heat have play a factor? Yeah, probably. It definitely did. But also it's I don't know
how many outdoor stadiums are in hot climates.
Yeah.
It's not the only one.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
sorry, I forgot one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would like, just off the top of my head, how many players have really turned it around after we called them terrible?
It's like every single one we've ever said.
Top of mind, Jake McCarthy.
Yep.
Julian, for a while.
Yeah.
He's kind of returned, but for a while he did prove us wrong. and Brett Sullivan all come to mind right now.
Yeah.
So we just need to say that every Rockies player is bad, and then the Rockies will end up making the playoffs.
Yeah. I think the only one that hasn't done that is honestly Tovar. Like, consistently playing still, the only one that hasn't really, like, just instantly proven us wrong has been Tovar, sadly. So this is his chance now. Now that we said it again, maybe now now it'll happen.
But you know what? Great. You know I love Rockies backup catchers.
Mm-hmm.
They have a special place in my heart. All of them post serving. All do.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
So. But yeah, that's all I had.
Yeah.
For those two series.
I mean, again, we're 3-3. Like that, I'll take that every day of the week. The Rockies going 500 on a week. And again, like, all of this is about perspective. Sure, the Rockies, I think, currently have the least amount of wins in the league, but it's also like, compared to how many wins they had at this time last year, it's almost probably double what it was. So it's as bad as it is this year. It could be a whole lot worse. And then, like I mentioned this earlier with a few guys that made debuts. I've just got a few stats for the guys that did debuts. So Cole Carrig, like I said, for me, honestly, if I'm being honest, all three of the guys that were called up this week kind of surprised me. They all did well, but they also kind of surprised me. Like, I wasn't expecting them to be called up, especially Cole Carrig, because I didn't know how fast they wanted to pull the trigger with him. Because I would kind of expect Zach Veen to come back before Cole Carrig, but I think they were just like, you know what? We need someone that can, like, play a good center field, and he's electric, and so they wanted him to prove what he's got, and he's been pretty good. He went 6 for 24 with 2 home runs, a triple, 4 RBI, and 2 walks, so he's been very good to start his career. And then I mentioned Sean Sullivan, who, through a sickness and a pretty hot day, pitched 3 innings, allowed no runs, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts. So he did his thing. He was pretty good. I expect him to go longer next time he pitches. Just obviously he was sick. And then I think it's either Eberson or Eberson Castellano. I'm not entirely sure. But he went 3 innings, no runs, 4 hits, and 2 strikeouts. So he did pretty good as well. Like, it's what you want to see. He's one of those guys that's he's a lefty reliever. He's not, or is he a lefty? Am I dumb? I'm checking. No, he's not a lefty. Who am I? I'm thinking of Wellington Herrera. To me, they kind of like fit the same mold.
Same.
Except Herrera's the lefty. But this guy's got like electric stuff. He can top out at like 99 miles an hour. He's 6'3". Oh, here we go. I think I could see his pronunciation here. Maybe I can't. Crap. I thought it usually does. Maybe not. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's Iverson Castellano. So, Iverson Castellano. Okay. But he did well. Like, everyone did well here. The rookies, and it's just more debuts. Like, this team is just debuting everyone, which obviously that makes sense, and I expect a few more as time goes this year. Namely, obviously, one Charlie Condon I expect to get the call at some point. Especially with what we're going to talk about next, with the amount of injuries that this team just continually gets. This is a mix of both injuries and just roster moves in general in the last few days. So a big one, I think we talked about him going on the IL or something last week.
We did not talk about 60 day. He was on the 15.
I guess it would have been 2 weeks ago that he went on it. But yeah, it's recently come up, unfortunately, rest in peace, that Chase Dollander is getting transferred to the 60-day IL. Apparently there was a tear in that UCL, and he is going to unfortunately require Tommy John surgery. And that is just absolutely brutal. It's one of those things that if you throw hard, it feels like it's a 75% chance that you're going to need Tommy John at some point, and unfortunately he could not escape it here. Hopefully, because he's so young, it won't hinder too much of a development cycle, and he'll be able to get back on track. But I mean, there's a chance that we won't see him until very late 2027, if not 2028, which really stinks. Especially again for a team that just has no pitching, and he was looking solid up until that point. And so, but it is what it is. You got to move on. But very brutal stuff.
And of course, about 3 days before my Chase Dollander jersey gets here, he goes on the 15-day, and then this. So I have yet to wear my jersey on a Chase start day. So I guess that will be delayed significantly.
For a while, yeah. That's unfortunate for sure. But in some good news, at least, I mentioned him a little bit before. Tyler Freeman came off the 7-day concussion protocol after getting nailed in the head by a 98-mile-an-hour two-seam from Jacob Mizorowski. So
who doesn't have to get Tommy John, by the way?
Yeah.
Even though he throws 103 after 75 pitches.
Yeah. I think at some point, I'm hoping not, knock on wood, I hope he doesn't, but I would be pretty shocked if he doesn't at some point in his career. But yep, Tyler Freeman's back. This is a move that I've been expecting for I don't know how long. Chad Stevens finally gets optioned to AAA. I'm sorry, but like, what are we doing? I am all for players getting their chance at the major league level if they've earned it. And Chad Stevens earned it at a point. He did, because he was like leading the PCL in average. He was doing amazing. Let me read his stats currently. In 16 games, he is hitting 036, 176, 036 for a 212 OPS. I can't really. He has 13 strikeouts to 5 walks, which isn't a terrible ratio, but again, if you're not hitting at all, then it doesn't matter. He has 1 hit, which I believe was in like his second game or something like that.
It was a great hit, by the way.
Yeah, it was a clutch hit. He has more RBIs than hits currently. He has 3 RBIs and he has 1 hit. So, but that's just, I don't get why he was on the roster for as long as he was. There's 2 players right now currently that I think on the roster shouldn't be on. It was him, and then it was Braxton Fulford. And that's both for his play, but also because I don't get the point of carrying 3 catchers. But now it's just a matter of, okay, well then who would you call up? And I've been saying this for a little bit. I think Zach Veen has earned the right to get called up, but I think they just want to fully make sure that it's not this fluke thing and that he'll be fine. But Jeff Criswell got optioned, which, again, this one makes no sense to me because he pitched solidly when he came back. So I don't really understand why he got optioned. I don't get it. So
I wonder if it's just like more like he's been gone for a long time. So I don't know if it's sort of like a rehab assignment thing where, like, if he continues to pitch well for the next week or 2, he'll get called back up.
I think what it might, maybe it's maybe they're going to stretch him out. Maybe they're going to get him to become a starter because, they're going to need it probably. So that might be what they're doing, especially with people like Tanner Gordon still being on the IL and a few of their other long reliever guys. So that could be what they're going to do with him, which that would make sense to me, I guess. But if they were just sending him down for whatever reason, that makes no sense to me. But I think that's got to be what they're doing, is they're trying to stretch him out a bit. Sammy Peralta was optioned to AAA, another just one of those kind of, journeyman relievers that the Rockies have right now. And then 2 players, Valente Biozo and Keegan Thompson, were both DFA'd at one point, and then they cleared the waivers, and they are now both outrighted to AAA Albuquerque, where they currently reside. Before the show, I want to say that I texted this. I don't remember. Yeah, Vodnik. Victor Vodnik is back with the club after being on the IL. He made a few rehab starts in Albuquerque, but he is back with the club, and so that's good to see because we need any and all pitching, and hopefully he can get back on a good rhythm because he was struggling earlier this year, which I think did have to do with because he had like a nerve problem in his arm, and so hopefully that's gone and he'll be able to get back to doing what he normally does. So, but those would be the Rocky or the Rockies um
Can
roster
I
moves and everything. But
can I bring up one more thing that we have
Yeah.
yet to discuss?
Yes.
Hunter Goodman being 5th in the All-Star voting for
Yes.
NL catcher.
Yeah.
And that's just despicable. It's Rockies deflation, I guess.
Yeah.
That the Rockies can do no good and have nothing good when he is like I get it. Drake Baldwin's had a great year. I could understand being ahead of Goodman, but William Contreras, JT Realmuto, and Will Smith should not be in front of Hunter Goodman at all.
Will Smith for sure is one that makes me angry because that's clearly just the Dodger fans voting for him.
Yes.
I'm doing a really quick comparison.
You can go on my Twitter. You could go on my Twitter. And all three of the guys I just mentioned are on there.
Okay, let me pulling it up first.
I have to go to my replies.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's on my replies.
Okay.
I have all three of their comparisons on Baseball Reference. Yeah, Will Smith is ahead in one category of on-base percentage by not very much, but Hunter Goodman leads in every single category, including having double the WAR that Will Smith has.
Mm-hmm.
He's better than JT in every statistical category. He's better than Contreras at everything but plate appearances, hits, RBIs, and then average and on-base percentage. But I take RBIs with a grain of salt because we saw how many guys the Brewers get on base.
Mm-hmm.
And then, wait, did I get the third? Yeah, I did. So, William Contreras, okay, whatever. But JT and Will Smith, absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't. It's just
Fan voting sucks.
Yeah, it's that whole argument of the fan voting stuff, which I am fully against it. I do not like fan voting. I think it's dumb. I think there can be an argument for maybe backup players or deeper cut players getting some fan vote stuff. But for starters and stuff, it's just kind of ridiculous because, I mean, that classic, it always goes around. I feel like I see it make rounds every year. The classic picture of, 2014 or 2015 Royals, where 7 of the 9 starters...
everyone but Mike Trout and someone else.
It was 7 of the 9 starters were...
I think it was Altuve and Mike Trout.
Something like that. And that's always going to be one of those classic pictures of how fan voting is not the best way to judge all-star voting or doing all-star voting.
And we saw this in the NBA, too. I think this might have been 2016 or 2015 when Zaza Pachulia on the Warriors got voted in as an all-star in the NBA, and he was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I don't. A part of it too, I don't understand why it's fan voting for position players and then they choose the pitchers.
Yeah, it's like do it.
Like if we're gonna do it poorly, let's just do it all the way.
Yeah.
And I'll vote for Ryan Feltner every day.
Yeah.
It's like I would rather it just be one way or the other. Obviously, preferably no fan voting because it's pointless, or just like make the fans vote and honestly make them think like they're doing something meaningful, and then just don't go by it at all. I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah,
because a lot of people would fall for the illusion anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Because right now, like we've said a few times, like Goodman, I think absolutely deserves to be.
He's playing better than last year.
All-star. Like he's currently on pace to probably hit 40 to 45 home runs from a catcher. Like that's insane.
Which I'm not sure if a Rockies catcher has ever done.
Oh no, he hit the most last year for a Rockies catcher. Like at 30, 31 is the high watermark. Rockies history of Rockies catchers is not good.
He's also on pace to be the first person to hit 40 home runs since Nolan Arenado. Yes. And that's prime Arenado.
Yes.
So, and as a catcher.
Yeah.
And I think, oh man, I'm not going to be able to find this. Oh, it's probably on my Twitter somewhere. Some good Goodman stats. Go to my replies. No, I've replied very much lately. It's not good. Isn't he the first catcher of some sort to hit 20 plus? And oh no, he's the only catcher to hit 20 plus before the All-Star break.
For a Rockies catcher, that would not shock me.
And then he's leading National League catchers and is second in the National League as a whole in home runs, which is crazy. Behind Schwarber, which cool, I'm totally fine with.
Yeah, sure, but again, all he does is hit. Like whereas Goodman also has to catch. Granted, not the best catcher, but that's not the point.
He plays.
Yes.
But it's just it. I mean, we can go on about the Goodman Glaze Fest all we want, but he deserves it. Bottom line, yes. I mean, it's pretty simple. He's playing way better than last year in the hitting categories, especially power hitting. So, yeah, it's just baloney. But hopefully, I think since the MLB has to give every team an All-Star, I think it's since Mickey's been hurt, it's pretty clear and cut who it's going to be.
It's either going to be him or I think Senzatella still does have an argument.
But you know who's in the DH combo? Who's on the top 10 in votes? Troy Johnston.
He is in the top 10? I didn't see that.
Yes, he was 8th in DH.
Wow.
In DH, which he doesn't even play.
That's kind of crazy.
But Troy Johnston was 8th as of this morning.
In all fairness, he has been pretty solid. But yeah, no, the Goodman stuff is just one of those things that's just funny to me. Because it's like, and then people are gonna obviously, I think what people will argue is the whole Coors thing, where it's like, okay, well, look at his stats. I'm looking at his stats right now at home games. He has 7 home run in 130 plate appearances at home. He has 7 home runs and a 747 OPS. In 150 plate appearances away, he has 13 home runs and a 949 OPS. I mean, he goes from an average hitter to Aaron Judge hitting it not Coors Field.
No Coors factor here.
Yeah, that's like
there's no Coors factor.
His Coors stats are actually dragging his overall stats down right now. That's how good he's hitting on the road. So that argument, get that out of here. That is just a blatant lie, and it's just wrong.
That's coping.
Yes,
that's coping by NL West fans that the Rockies are here.
Yeah, and again, it's just one of those things. It's just like, why can't we have anything? Are we're just not allowed to have? And it's that whole thing where it's like the moment a good player shows up on a team, all these other big market teams are instantly like, we deserve to have that player because at least they'll win with us. And it's like, no, screw you. Let us have our one thing that we can enjoy.
Thank the Lord, Hunter Goodman is untouchable. I wouldn't say he's untouchable, but he's as close to Aaron Judge untouchable as you could be for the Rockies. Yeah, like, they're not going to let him go.
Yeah, I think the argument right now, like, I would say right now, probably no one is fully untouchable, but the closest, like you said, are probably him, TJ Rumfield, and Ezekiel Tovar. And Tovar is only because that contract's going to be hard to move. Yeah. But hopefully he can continue doing what he's doing, and hopefully he can, because last year he was like second, would be like second team, all team or whatever. And I would expect that's how he's probably going to get back on again this year, or at least he deserves to at least be that. So,
And last thing we talked about at the beginning of the year, like, should the Rockies extend Hunter Goodman? I think even if he drops off a tiny bit, and he still, let's just say, puts out 38 home runs, is hitting like 250. I think the Rockies should just go ahead and at least get him on a like maybe not a Tovar 10-year, but like at least get him for a while.
Yeah,
he's going. I mean, he's already going to be the best catcher in Rockies history. I don't care about what anybody says about the Blake Street Bombers and their catcher that sucked, but he was on a really good team and made clutch hits, but wasn't nearly as good as Hunter Goodman. I mean, this is the best Rockies catcher in franchise history. So
Yeah.
it would be a shame to at some point have to move him or let him walk.
I believe Connor Goodman is already has the third most home runs by a catcher ever, and he has really only played for 2 full years. So yeah, he's going to probably go down at the end of his career as the best catcher in Rockies history, which is kind of crazy because like he was good in the minor leagues, but I don't think he was ever anything crazy. And he's just been able to translate that to the major leagues, which is just really nice to see. I think again his biggest issue, his two biggest issues are he does not play the best defense. He's not the worst, but he's also not going to ever be stellar. And then he still strikes out a lot. But if he can continue to put up the power numbers, you can kind of live with the strikeouts. He just has to continue that power.
Who says Hunter Goodman stinks?
Yeah. That's
the absolute coldest take of my career.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul Holden, for reading it out to the masses. I could not have been more wrong. That was at the beginning of 2025.
Yeah, that was last year.
At the beginning of the 2025 season.
Yep.
And he has just proven me wrong.
That was when Jacob Stallings earned the starting spot, and then Goodman
deservedly.
Yeah,
but that's an argument for another day.
Yeah, but anyway, I feel like I do feel like every week we do a Hunter Goodman thing. Well, it's just because he's been so good, and so it's just
no one else gives him love. Tone, somebody has to.
Yeah. So, but really quick touch up. I want to do some minor league stuff really quick. So we've talked about the two big ones. Obviously, are going to be it's Charlie Condon and Zach Veen. Those two right now have been just insane for Albuquerque, and I'm looking at the last 30 days stats wise for the two guys. Charlie Condon, and like I said this before, I believe he seems to be a very streaky player, but it's when he gets hot, he gets red hot. Like he in the last 30 days is hitting 303, 421, 697 for a 1.118 OPS. He's got 9 home runs, 8 doubles, 22 RBI, and this is what's good is 25 strikeouts to 16 walks. So he's got like a good walk to strikeout ratio. And I also saw, I think the other day he threw someone out at home from right field. So he's locking down at least solidly his defense. And so that's really good to see because I think to start his career in the big leagues, he will be a right fielder. I think eventually he might move back to first base. But I think to start his career, he is going to be that right fielder. But yeah, a strikeout percentage right now of 23%, but a walk percentage of 15. Like really, really good stuff there from him. And so that's just what you want to see. And then Zach Veen again, last 30 days, he's hitting 380, 414, 761 for a 1.175 OPS. He's got 6 home runs with 11 doubles, 3 triples. So he doesn't hit quite as many home runs, but he's getting more of the other extra base hits, those hustle doubles, those hustle triples. All that stuff's got 16 RBI, 20 strikeouts to 7 walks, so a little more that the little swing and miss, but he's also got 3 stolen bases and has not been caught stealing. But his strikeout percentage overall is actually down. It's at a 15% right now. He doesn't walk that much, but he doesn't strike out that much either. And so he's kind of doing his thing too. I think I said this before that I think that Zach Veen will be called up. I think I said by the middle of June, which I'm wrong. I guess I was just wrong on the guy because it was Cole Carrick.
The middle of June today.
Yeah, it was Cole Carrick who was called up and not him. But I don't know how much longer you can let this guy just continue to do this at the minor league level, because it's like he's clearly showing that he's mastered this level. Like he's doing what he needs to be doing. And I expect what they're probably going to do at the latest, it's going to be a trade deadline situation, they move a few outfielders, and whether that be a Mickey Moniak, whether that be a Troy Johnston, whether that be anyone like that, which, I mean, Brenton Doyle, I could very much see getting moved simply as a backup. Just
Cash
as a
consideration.
Yeah, I would just see as a depth piece for a team, just for a defensive upside thing. Change of scenery stuff even. So, but I expect with those moves that will come, or at least should come, I would expect either Zach Veen or Charlie Condon, probably Zach Veen first, to make their debut.
The Rockies were doing some foreshadowing by showing Brenton Doyle's next job.
Oh,
the other night
when he
was putting chocolate on the strawberries.
Yeah,
because that is all he is good for Coors Field at this point.
Yeah,
I just thought that was funny because he will be traded for the Rockies' favorite asset ever. So,
yeah,
I'm out on Doyle.
It really stinks because like when he was good, it was a lot of fun to watch. But like again with off the field stuff last year and that injury that kept nagging him, and then this year just another injury, and he's just not been able to produce anywhere near the same level that he did in that 2024 season. It just really stinks. It really, really stinks for him. But I mean, that's just how the big leagues are. It's like if you're not going to play well, you're gonna have to find a new job at some point. So, and I'm hoping that he can be fine. I'm hoping that he can come back and maybe prove us wrong, build up some stock for us to move him. Because right now, unfortunately, Cole Carrig is that new center fielder. He's become the new Brenton Doyle. And that's just kind of how it goes. But I do not have anything else really other than home run draft update really quick. Since Matthew's not here, I can be the one to do it. But so in third place, now with 7, is Drew.
Thank you, Willie Castro.
Yeah, Willie Castro is the only one currently with more than 1. Second place is Matthew. He's got 21 home runs. Brett Sullivan has just been kind of carrying for a little bit. He's got 3 home runs in the last week for him. And then first is Tony, is me, with 32 home runs. Goodman continues to do his thing. And then TJ Rumfield added 1 as well. So, but that's just how. That's home run update. Like, not really much else to say with that.
Hey, I think this might be the first week that I have multiple home runs.
It might be.
And unfortunately, it was by the same person on the same. Wait, yeah, he's the only person on the roster. So, yeah. That actually plays.
Yeah.
But I never thought I'd be defeated so quick. And man, after the first 2 weeks of the season, I was dead in the water.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're just gonna take this into next year. We're gonna be a little more intelligent.
Yeah, learn from it, and we'll move on from there. Yeah, for sure. I think what this does do is just fully solidify that Goodman is going to be the number 1 overall pick for the next probably 4 years of this team. Like every single time, like you can't really choose anyone else. But other than that, I don't have much else. I guess really quick, the Rockies are playing. Who do they play this week? They play the Cubs. They're currently playing them right now. I don't know who else they play, honestly. Scrolling. Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Cubs.
Three at Coors Field against the Pirates. I don't know if Skeens is lined up for that. Hopefully not, but who knows? Last time he did come to Coors, he did allow 4 runs, 3 of those via a 3-run home run by Jordan Beck, which was a fun day.
Awesome.
Was a fun
his
day.
his only good hit of the year.
Yeah.
Yes, the Rockies face Paul Skeens on the second day.
Okay. Well,
with Sagano pitching. So yeah.
All right. Well,
chalk that one up.
All right. Well, Hopefully, we'll have better news than
well.
us just saying chalk that up next week.
Hey, I said that about Lorenzen last week.
That's also
so
true.
Who knows?
That is true. That is true. But other than that, I have nothing else unless you've got anything else.
Nope.
All right. Well, a little bit of a shorter episode, but we'll be back next week as usual. But as always, go Rockies, and we will see you guys in the next one. All right. Bye.